Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here. Today, we're taking a look at the first 2023 Subaru WRX that we have received. This is in the magnetite gray. So 22 was the redesign, 23, no notable changes to the car. But you do get that new front end that you had in 23, that new hood, the new hood scoop. This is actually my favorite portion of the car. I think this is the most aesthetically pleasing part. I really like that hood and that hood scoop. Fog lights along with steering responsive headlights. So those will actually turn when you turn the car at speed. You can see around those corners a little sooner, see the moose and deer, pedestrians, make sure you don't smack them. Magnetite gray has a ton of metallic in it. You get those blacked out, grayed out wheels, 18s, and you have the Dunlop SP Sport Max GT 600As on them, so quite a sticky tire. Functional vents, you can see right through there, airflow, aerodynamics, and of course on the gray you don't see that cladding as much, which lots of people understandably aren't a huge fan of, but with the gray it kind of blends in, it camos in quite nicely. Integrated turn signals into the mirrors. You do get the tilt and slide sunroof with this. This is the Sport Tech, so full load. You get these little doors and they flip up. I like to use a flathead screwdriver, something like that, a detailer tool or a pry tool for interior trim. Flip those up and crossbars actually bolt in. They're very, very secure. Of course, you have those front and rear. Color match shark fin antenna. Fuel door, of course, just like every other Subaru, on the passenger side. If your driver door is unlocked, that's unlocked. If the driver door is locked, that pin shoots out and locks in that hole there. Of course, this is designed to run on premium fuel. The back, you get the lip spoiler on the Sport and the Sport Tech. The entry levels just have the naked trunk. That boomerang style tail light, quad tip exhaust. Still have the place where I'm sure some companies designed an F1 style brake light. Backup sensors are in the rear bumper. They will actually apply the brakes if things are going to hit something at speeds of between 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. Absolutely terrifying when it happens, but it works really, really well. Stops you from hitting it. Massive trunk. It's half a liter larger than the outgoing model. From what I understand, people online have told me that the old style cargo trays fit here nearly perfectly. And under here, you get your recovery hook, your tow hook, and in Canada, you get the spare tire and all the jack. I guess in the States, you only get the Fix-A-Flat kit. So very handy to have a full-size spare, well, full-size donut spare here. If you ever get stuffed in your own trunk release, and it does glow in the dark. So despite being a sporty car, it is still practical. You have that large trunk. You've got a really large second row seat from what you would expect looking at it. Good headroom, good leg room. If there's only 1 or 2 passengers, this armrest does fold down. There's 2 cup holders. Now, this is a mix of leather and ultra suede. So leather bolstering, ultra suede, very, very comfortable, very, very soft, nice to the touch, kind of velvety. On the backs of both front seats, you have map back pockets. And out of the center console, no vents, but you do have heated seats for the outer 2 passengers, along with 2 USB ports for charging. Heated seats in the second row. I guess that's a Canadian exclusive thing unless they've changed that for the 23s in the US. In the doors, you have bottle holders and storage. Get that red stitching, soft touch materials on the doors, faux carbon fiber trim. Very sharp looking, and should you need it, if you're using this as a family vehicle, kids, grandkids, drunk friends, child lock. Very handy, easy to turn on. Now it is a proximity key, so you do never need to take the key out of your purse or your pocket. Your backpack just needs to be within 46 inches. I still have this in the bag that it came in, but to lock it, there's those lines on the exterior door handle. It's gonna beep at us because it won't lock because it's running. You would have to use the key for that. Stop that, you just pull on that. Same thing to open it, you just walk up, put your hand in the handle. Door card is very, very similar up front as it is in the second row. Bottle holder storage. You obviously have a few more switches, including window lock and your power mirrors. Upgraded audio system, Harman Kardon audio system, phenomenal system. Now, I get asked all the time by clients in person, why do you leave the plastic here? Well, you can see there's a couple scuffs here and here from people getting in and out, and we just kind of want to keep it new looking. We peel this off when the new customer, new owner takes delivery. We do have those aluminum pedals with the black rubber grippies. Now, you may notice there's only 2 pedals and a footrest. This is the automatic. You have the Subaru Performance Transmission. More on that in a bit. Power driver seat, including lumbar. A little bit more bolstering, a little bit more aggressive seats up front, hold you in those corners. The Sport Tech, you do get the red contrast stitching. It looks very, very sharp. On the inside, by the driver's left knee, trunk release, scroll wheel for the brightness of your gauges, and you have the ability to turn off traction control. Steering wheel itself, adjustments, pull down, and it is a D-shaped steering wheel, and it's tilt and telescopic, so you can adjust it to drivers of varying heights, arm, and leg lengths, which is great. I generally have it out all the way towards me. For purposes of this video, I push it in all the way, so I have more room for the camera. Now, headlights default to auto. Momentary safety switch. I guess that's a Canadian thing. Apparently lots of the models in the States do not have that, but safety first. Stops you from driving around with your headlights turned off. Red contrast stitching in the steering wheel, and it is a little tough to see this right now with that sun glare, so we're actually going to move into the shade there. So automatic, put it in drive, away we go. And it's beeping at me because my seatbelt is not done up. There is a way to disable that, and I will show you guys that in another video. And it stopped because I dropped below a certain speed. But steering wheel, you get WRX faux carbon fiber. Left-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our Bluetooth and audio controls. You can make and take calls, control the volume of the calls and the music. This will switch from AM preset to FM to SXM, next song on your USB drive or on your phone. Accept call, hang up, decline, voice command. Then these arrows here and this I button, those will change our center display. So you've got boost gauge, fuel economy for trip A, trip B, time running, compass. Most people like the boost gauge. Currently sitting at 16.6 kilometers on this. Just came off the truck and just went through PDI. Right hand side, being that it is the Subaru Performance Transmission, you get the adaptive cruise, you get lane centering. Both of those use the latest and greatest EyeSight cameras, the EyeSight 4.0, most up-to-date EyeSight system that Subaru offers. And it will allow you to follow behind the vehicle ahead of you at a set distance if you catch up while using cruise. And it'll help keep you between the lines above 60 kilometers an hour. Right now, it's just gonna beep at you. I've just turned it on, you can see those gray lines. If the cameras can see the road lines, it'll illuminate whichever side it can see white, so you can tell if the system's active or not. Now, you don't have to use those. You can turn that off. You can use traditional cruise control, just press and hold, and it turns it to regular cruise. So you have that option if you don't like the adaptive. 3 different drive modes. You've got intelligent, and you can see down by the P for park there, it says S for sport. Intelligent, sport, race car. Changes your shift pattern, how hard you're going to accelerate. So normal day, sporty driving, sport sharp race car mode. So it does automatically default to sport on the WRX. There is no way to have it automatically default to intelligent. At least we haven't been able to find one, even going through the background settings. So if you want a more relaxed drive for every day, you just press the I button whenever you get in and it switches to intelligent. The least aggressive torque curve. Paddles, up and downshift, they're attached to the steering wheel, so they turn with the wheel. They're not fixed to the column itself, so you can manually select your own gears. Very handy. I used it for downshifting all the time. I haven't spent a whole bunch of time behind the wheel in one of the new WRXs, so I can't tell you how well it upshifts. I was very impressed with the short drive I did, but I don't have a long-term review for you myself. It is push button start. It's on right now. So long as you're in park, foot can be off the brake and it shuts off. Reminder, look in rear seat because I had the back seat door open before I hopped in here. Foot on the brake, light goes green. Green means go. You've got those little LEDs up there. That's part of the EyeSight system, so if you start crossing a line, it's gonna flash some LEDs. If you're using adaptive cruise and the camera see a vehicle, it'll be green. I did do a video about those lights. I'll try to remember to put that in the video description below. 11.6 inch touchscreen. A little bit of a step up from the 8-inch that used to come with the WRX. It's definitely large, stands out. They've broken it into 3 portions. Top portion, we've got what you're listening to. That would be navigation destination if you set one. We've got gauges, and then you have weather. That's part of the satellite radio trial. Most people like the gauges. I like the gauges. I like to keep an eye on what's going on with the car. Below that, we do have our main screen, our tiles. And sorry, I'm trying to find an angle with the least amount of glare. But you've got built-in navigation in the Sport Tech. It's powered by TomTom. There's no subscription fee for this. You've got it for life. You got 1 free update within the first 3 years of ownership. After that, you can choose to update it if you'd like, but you don't have to. It'll continue to operate. You just won't have the most up-to-date roads. Apps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle has been put in your name. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, those are wired connections. Play with the settings, hook up your phone. As soon as you put it in reverse, backup camera pops up. You can see rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on. It does show the top of the bumper there. Hard to see on the gray in the shade, but it is there. And as you turn the wheel, those orange lines move, show you where you're gonna end up if you keep your wheel turned that way. Below that, we have our climate controls, and it is dual zone. We do have physical buttons to adjust the temperature if you want. And now if the passenger wants their own temperature, they can just make the adjustment. They can click, it'll bring it up, click. It's where they turn on their heated seat as well. And if that my passenger gets out, I just hit the sync button. There you go. Back to both just driver controlled. We've got driver controls for fan strength, for your airflow where you'd like it. Control the fan strength from there. Lots of easy to use controls. It's definitely different than having physical buttons if you've had a Subaru before, but it doesn't take that long to get used to. Below that, little storage cubby with 2 USBs, an aux and a 12 volt. This is rubberized. The idea is you can put a device there and hopefully it stops sliding around. It is the automatic, the Subaru Performance Transmission. There's your manual mode. You can tell you're in manual mode because it says first. I just shifted up to second. It'll let you start in second, won't let you start in sixth or anything. Parking brakes are electronic. Foot on the brake and push down to turn it off. Dual cup holders, a little bit of storage, and in the center console here, a little bit of storage. There's a 12 volt outlet for charging, and there's a place for you to run your cords through. Up top, my favorite feature ever, auto dimming rear view mirror. So it has the home link system, but there's no switch to flick if someone has their brights on behind you. It just automatically dims. I love it. It's the best feature ever. This you can hook up to your garage door. You don't have to carry a bulky opener on your visor, and you do have an integrated compass, which is very handy. Up top, got your roadside and your SOS and your roadside. So medical emergencies, accidents, that sort of thing. Roadside assistance. That's part of the 3-year trial of the connected services you get with most new Subarus. There will be a little green light when it is activated. Right here, got your door switch for lights. So if I've got it set to door and I open a door, lights come on. Then you have your sunroof controls. And it will drag the shade with us. And I can't just close the shade with the glass open, which is probably a good thing. But that is both tilt and slide. Now, let's take a look under the hood. And actually before that, this is the new front plate bracket for the WRXs. On these cars and the BRZs, we don't pre-install them unless a customer asks us to. Lots of people don't want that, and we don't want to drill a hole on a bumper if someone doesn't want it, which is very, very handy. So hood release on this, like all Subarus, down here, there's this little icon. You can actually feel it if you're looking, and you just have to reach back a little bit further than you think you would and pull. And then to open the hood on the WRX, just like any Subaru, modern Subaru, walk up on the right-hand side of the logo, insert your hand facing down, and move it from right to left, and then lift. And the WRX and the BRZ are the only cars in our lineup that still have hood struts. It's a safety thing for every other car. And I guess they're not as concerned about this in this car. Oh, there we go, as they are in the others. But 2.4 liter turbocharged boxer engine, 271 horsepower. Got your top mount intercooler. You've got your rubber shroud. It is a functional hood scoop. It's, yeah, very functional. And pretty much everything the average consumer is going to touch is in yellow. brake fluid, washer fluid, coolant, oil filters up top, oil dipstick, and easy to access air box with filter. And it is kind of a ram air style. It just takes the air in through the top of the grill there. Yeah. It's very, very handy. Yeah, that's a quick look at it. So that is a quick look at the 2023 Subaru WRX Sport Tech in the Magnetite Gray. If you guys have any questions about this car, any of the cars in our lineup, any of the technology, please put them in the comments below. I'm always looking for new videos to make for you guys and answer your questions, because if I don't know something, I get the chance to learn and figure something out for you guys. So again, thanks for watching. Talk to you guys soon.